Hey Narwhals, I'm your host Luke Narwhal, and welcome back to another weight loss video. Hope you enjoy. I wish my 300-pound boyfriend would shut up. A tiny rant. I'm a female, 45 years old, current weight 165, goal weight 145. He's 6 foot, 300 pounds. At 300 pounds, he has all the advice for how I should go about losing weight. Eat earlier in the morning. Calories are a myth. Salads are stupid. Each bit of advice sounds dumber than the last. This is all coming from a man that eats pizza slices topped with french fries. I'm forced to ask obese pseudo Harper over here why his tips aren't working for him. Well, that's because he's not really trying to lose weight. Oh, of course, I see. No matter how often I plead, I can't get him to shut his trap about my weight loss efforts. If you see me measuring food, shut up. If you see me logging calories, shut up. Just shut up. Thanks for letting me vent. This is just him trying to justify his decisions. Your change in your way of life is maybe making him insecure. Oh, it definitely is. No one reaches that weight and feels good about themselves. Well, maybe those feeder people, but that's a whole other can of worms that doesn't apply here. People with insecurities like that tend to view others trying to improve themselves negatively because it makes them question not only their own choices, but also why the person is trying to improve. Are they losing weight because they want to break up and date other people? Losing weight to get more attention and praise from others? Losing weight because they found someone already and are trying to impress them? To have more endurance for new activities and stuff, like if you suddenly want to start hiking more often or something. It also makes them frustrated quite often because if the person succeeds, it makes them think, well, I could have done that too, but I couldn't for X or Y reason. It makes them bitter and jaded at the other person's success. Instead of being supportive, they literally put the other person down out of jealousy and frustration. I've experienced that particular relationship strain personally. Just ignore the negativity or the constant bossing around or being spoken down to and prove them wrong. I genuinely hope your relationship stays strong if that is what you desire. You might also consider having a discussion with him and explaining why you've chosen to lose weight and that maybe some of his insecurities might be about you wanting to trade up or something, and assure him that that isn't the case. I mean, unless it is. Regardless of the outcome, I wish you well and hope you succeed in your goals. Have you tried telling him that you feel like he's disrespecting you and your intelligence when he acts like he can't handle your meal planning on your own? My husband responds better when I explain that what he's doing is really hurting my feelings or make me feel disrespected, versus me just telling him he doesn't know what he's talking about or to shut his mouth. Tell him that if you don't see progress or feel like you need help, you'll come to him. Side note, but this is basically the template for approaching a relative or loved one with an issue you have with them. I feel blank when you blank is a surefire way to address your grievances and encourage change without implying that the other party is to blame. A contrast with the much more common, you always or never blank, which is the fastest way to get them to become defensive and shut down meaningful communication. And don't plead and don't repeat yourself. Instead, give him consequences for not shutting his trap. Example, physically walk him out of the kitchen while you're meal prepping or eating and tell him to stay out. If he doesn't give up, you leave the house and go for a walk. You don't have to raise your voice, beg, or cajole. He either butts out the first time or he won't like the result. Example, you leave the room or he does. If he's gonna act like a petulant child, then he can get punished by metaphorically being told to go stand in the corner. His failure to respect you and your boundaries is making me cringe, and I suspect I'm on the other side of the globe from you. Or you can lose 300 pounds very quickly and work on the remaining 20 in a more sustainable fashion. That might be the most parsimonious solution. Setting boundaries and consistently enforcing fair consequences. It's Parenting 101, which should give an idea of the maturity on display by this particular boyfriend. Children don't listen to what parents say. They pay attention to how parents act and what they can get away with without consequence to their lives. If you never escalate beyond raising your voice, that's not changing anything in their life, so they will ignore it. If you only escalate after yelling, then they will wait until you're yelling before they consider action. If you use your words kindly, gently, then when they continue to push your boundaries, consistently escalate to excluding them from their current activity or being present with you, they will eventually learn to pay attention to what you are saying to them. And good luck. Everyone has advice on how to lose weight. It's crazy how much advice I've been getting now that I've lost 50 pounds. I've got a ways to go, but I found a plan that works really well for me. I'll be the first to admit that it's not perfect, but it's been working well. I still get unsolicited advice from people at least once a week. I just tell them that I found what works for me and I'm going to stick with it. I just want to reinforce your already 100% correct efforts. Never listen to this man. Counting calories is, of all the ways to lose weight in a healthy manner, the one single method that is 100% guaranteed to work, because it's the only method that takes into account how every single human body works, and can be perfectly adjusted to your own individual needs. Every single other diet out there, be it paleo, keto, vegan, low carb, whatever, any diet succeeds if it does, because you are at the same time adjusting your caloric intake, even if that is not what you're specifically aiming at. You are doing good. Just walk away or change the topic, and plain old just don't talk about weight loss with him. If you argue, all it's going to do is encourage him. My husband used to give me all sorts of stupid advice. I would just say something like, I have to go have a shower, and walk away. Avoiding confrontation doesn't solve the problem. It does when the problem is that one person isn't respecting the other's boundaries. The only resolution here is to disengage, walk away, and refuse to even engage on the subject. The confrontation has already been had. She's already explained her boundaries, and he's still not respecting them. Never beg, plead, or ask someone to respect your boundaries. Simply state them and politely disengage if they can't or won't respect them. Food, like language, is identity. For example, I know a bunch of Jewish people who are not at all religious, but still like to keep it somewhat kosher. Why? Because it is part of their culture. It is part of how they see themselves. Lots of people like to rely on baseless personality tests like Myers-Briggs, but an even better personality test would be, what foods are you? Personally, I am a meat, potatoes, and pasta person, but I'm working towards changing that into a poultry, veggies, and low carbs person. It's so tough. How we grew up rules everything, even the romantic partners we choose and the friends we keep close. And when we disrupt those food habits, people get personally offended. They feel like you are rejecting them. Food is that important in the structuring of our identities. If this relationship is something that you want to save, you may need to address your partner's insecurities. I'm guessing that somewhere deep down they are afraid you will get fit and leave them. After all, don't fit people marry other fit people, and unfit people stick with unfit ones? Perhaps you will see some change in your partner's expressions of his insecurities if you can openly address them. Maybe use scripts like, I love these foods too. You know I do. I just feel like crap. My body is doing something weird and I have to eat other foods or I'll be too depressed to function. All the carbs and calories used to be okay for me, but now they slow me down and make me feel crappy. I wish I could continue to enjoy them, but the price is just too high for me. Making sure he knows that you love him and this change won't have you leaving him, but that you have no choice. Ask him for his encouragement, because it is hard enough having to give up the stuff you love to eat without him flinging crap at you. It may be interesting to ask him why he insists on speaking up if he isn't joining you in your goals. Does he want to take credit for your success? Is he wishing he had the motivation to join you, and coaching you is his attempt to summon some enthusiasm? And does he honestly think you can't figure out how to lose weight? Some people chime in because they're trying to connect and show their support about something they know is important to you. Goodness knows why they don't understand that if they're not actually doing it, it just sounds condescending. Others feel self-conscious when their partner gets into better shape, and they try to give advice in the hopes that when you feel good about yourself, you'll think it's thanks to them. It might be interesting to say, this is about what I choose to consume. It doesn't affect you. If you want to join me, then I'm happy to discuss and co-motivate, but otherwise, I would prefer that this be my thing. I don't want input, I don't want suggestions, I just want to do this thing for myself. Can you please let me do that? And if not, why not? And that brings us to the end of the video, Narwhals. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, please tap subscribe to join our awesome community, the Narwhals, and for more weight loss stories that help you stay on track. And here's our featured Narwhal of the day. Finally achieved my goal of losing 100 pounds. Such a great feeling finally. So glad that I stuck with it. Female 29, 5'4", starting weight 265, current weight 163, and goal weight 130.